Okay, why are so many people today on a gluten-free diet? Because they're victims of a growing epidemic of inflammation. Just like we talked about ADHD, where children who have ADHD, probably the levels of omega-3 fatty acids have dropped. So now basically their genetic phenotype gets exposed. If you raise the levels of omega-3 fatty acids, then basically the phenotype is like underwater. So it doesn't get exposed. I think the increase in gluten intolerance is just a kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back. That basically you have so much inflammation in your diet that now a small amount of gluten, which would be not sufficient to elicit a strong immunological response, is now enough to cause a tipping point, and now basically the body begins making antibodies against it and attacking its own microvilli. It's a terrible disease. My wife has a very severe gluten intolerance, and she says, if I'm so smart, how come I can't make zone foods that are gluten-free? I said, I'm working on it. She said, that's not good enough. But like last night, she gets a gluten-free menu in the restaurant every night, and they said, we guarantee this sauce has no gluten. And she was basically just in a terrible state for the next 6 hours. Just a trace amount of gluten could basically be that tipping point because you've already compromised the system.